On this week's Throwdown, we have Mia Gianelli and Kyle Ruth the Tooth Tiger demoing the workout.
We've got alternating dumbbell snatches, dumbbell box step overs, toes to bar, and hang power cleans.
We release these workouts right here on YouTube every Thursday at 1 p.m.
Join our entire community to practice the skill of competing.
Use the next 2 days to plan a strategy, grab some friends, and throw down on Saturday.
See where you stack up each week on our Throwdown leaderboard. It's free to sign up. Go to trainingthinktank.com/throwdown.
This week's Throwdown is a chipper. Starts with 40 alternating dumbbell snatch, then 40 toes to bar, 32 dumbbell box step overs, 30 toes to bar, 20 hang power cleans, 20 toes to bar, and finishes with 10 heavier hang power cleans and 10 toes to bar.
Make sure to invite a friend, do the workout with them, and have them judge you for this workout. For the movement standards this week, the alternating dumbbell snatch, you can switch the dumbbell any way that you'd like, but both heads must touch the ground, and you must be at full extension at the top of each rep. For the toes to bar, make sure both feet come behind the bar at the bottom of the rep, and that both feet touch the bar at the same time at the top of each rep. For the dumbbell box step overs, you can step over any way that you'd like, but the dumbbells cannot touch the box. And then for the hang power cleans, make sure that your elbows pass the bar and that you're at full extension at the top of each rep.
Those are all the movements in this workout. If you watch this series, you already know the athletes in it. Mia is one of our coaches. She's a sanctional level team athlete. Kyle Ruth is a master's level competitor who almost made it to the games and finished 34th in the world in the age group qualifier. So that's some context as you make your strategy and compare yourself.
Hold on, why do all the women in CrossFit do this shitty little way? You just did it.
I didn't do that. I did this. I did not do this. I did this.
And congratulations to Noah Olson for getting third place at the Rogue Invitational. He does the design, Max.
He does follow the design. He's actually been on the design over the course of from whenever the quarantine started, and that's probably the reason why he took third. It has nothing to do with his athletic gifts. So check it out on our website.
Let's go see Kyle and mine's strategy.
Dumbbell snatch, we got 40 of them. I'm gonna break those in half. I know Mia's gonna go unbroken, so I'm probably gonna be just behind a little bit. Toes to bar, every set open up with a big chunk and then chip away. Dumbbell box step overs, this is Mia's giant advantage over me, so I'm just gonna try and stay as close as I can and race. Again, toes to bar, big chunks. Hang power cleans, the 155, that's pretty heavy for me, to be honest. I'm gonna try and go probably 3 sets there, a big chunk, 2 smaller. And then hang power cleans, whatever I got left, because I know grip at the end of this with 100 toes to bar and 100 other grip dominant reps, it's gonna be smoked. So essentially what I'm saying is I don't really have much of a strategy other than stick with Mia and try and hang on to the end.
So I think I'm gonna open up either unbroken or take one quick set on the dumbbell snatches. I can usually breathe pretty well on that. For toes to bar, I usually like to front load sets with a little bigger of a set and then just chip away from there. So I'm definitely gonna go by feel. This isn't a completely grip workout, so just with every movement break before my grip starts to blow up. Kyle likes to go out fast and work out, so I'm gonna try not to chase him, but we'll see. Dumbbell box step overs, I'll break up on purpose to save my grip. And then on the hang cleans, I'm just gonna dig and hopefully I can get ahead of him on those.
The Training Think Tank coach competition. I like it.
Yeah, I declined from being involved in this competition.
A note before we go, there is no standard on where you switch your hand on dumbbell snatches.
Are you saying that because you're switching at the top?
Well, we decided before, we were like, well, should we use the standard that CrossFit put out, or do we just get to do our own standard? Kyle's like juggling.
Yeah, he's throwing it. That's kind of how I do it as
Yeah, I
well.
kinda
I
like
feel
it that
like
way
it's
too.
easier that way.
They've changed it too. There have
it's
been
gone
some
both
where,
ways.
yeah, for sure.
I think qualifiers, it's just going to be dependent upon whatever the organizer thinks. I think from a judging standpoint, this is just easier
For sure.
than saying like, oh, it has to be right in front of your face.
Yeah,
It's very
because
hard
what
to
is your
judge.
face? You know?
It's this area that's right on the front of your head.
You have 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth. Some
So,
people have teeth.
He's also a liar because he's not breaking.
He said everyone here is a
But-
liar.
Yeah,
if you
everybody
ask
does
them.
it.
You like ask Brennan, hey, what pace are you going to go out on the road? 1,200. And then he starts at 1,800 calories an hour. I'm like, what is this?
If you feel good, go for it, right?
Yeah. Rep speed here is pretty fast. Kyle looks like he's just moving a little bit quicker, but he's a pretty explosive athlete.
Yeah.
You look a little bit just more smooth in your rep cadence. Are you trying to move at full speed here?
Yeah, so my feet are a little wider, and then I also work on bringing my opposite hand up, I guess you can't see it anymore, to meet the dumbbell versus extending and then putting my hand up.
So you were like 3 dumbbell snatches behind over the course of 40.
Still
both-
really fast
yeah.
for both people. I mean, Kyle was under 2 seconds a rep, which is kind of like where you want to be in a sprint style workout, and then Mia, you were right at 2 seconds a rep.
And then your transition break was a little bit faster than his. You talked about this in a text message to me, the folding in half strategy of toes to bar versus the giving birth strategy. I like that way of describing it, where you kind of like spread your legs and open up, push back, and look like you're in the stirrups giving birth. It requires more hamstring flexibility, but you can kind of see how Kyle has to externally rotate to get up there, and Mia's legs are a little bit straighter. It's definitely something, I don't know, to take into consideration just how you're doing toes to bar, because you said these are more enduring for you.
Right, so this is something I've worked on a lot. For gymnastics movements, I say toes to bar is probably my best movement, and it's mostly because I've worked on becoming as efficient as I can for my body type on these. My hands are pretty narrow, so my shoulders are pretty relaxed, and I've worked on being able to compress and bring my knees as close to my face as I can, so I'm not pushing back on the bar very much, so my shoulders don't really get that tired. I also work on not looking up at the bar and just looking straight ahead, which takes a little bit of time to figure out, get the timing, and make sure you're not going to miss the bar. But it allows me to keep myself closer to the bar and not have to press back to get my feet up.
What were your rep breaks here?
I opened with, I think, 16, and then I think I went 10 after that. I don't really remember exactly, but I didn't have to go to like small sets.
Yeah, I would encourage people on toes to bar to kind of think about the style of the workout and how fast you want to go. Allow that to dictate the style of the toe to bar. So like Mia, the way that you're doing them, if it's a really long workout, I really like that long, smooth stroke on the way up, but then not leaning back with your body line. However, if I'm like doing 10 and then going back and forth to something else and I have to go fast, I'm gonna bring my knees really aggressively up, like almost like a knee tuck, and then just kick the bar. Most people can't do that if you don't have like a really deep hinge, but that's a much faster way to do them.
Yeah, it's a speed per rep versus preventing muscle breakdown,
For sure.
really, essentially. So those toes to bar sets took them both about 1:30 for Mia and 1:40 for Kyle, and then transition into these step overs.
So at this point, I was already feeling grip fatigue. You can see I'm already stretching my hands out, like pretty significantly. So something to think about when you're creating your strategy is that was the limiter for me.
You can see that this is a good way to look at the difference between how Kyle and Mia are doing their step ups. Mia's doing almost like a pseudo crossover step, whereas Kyle's almost facing the box. Mia's is just obviously faster. I think part of that is you are taller compared to the box, but I think that the crossover is probably more efficient.
Yeah, I think also if you just pay attention to how close her feet are to the box when she's stepping up versus when Kyle starts moving again, you'll see his distance away from the box. He's actually traveling a farther distance on every rep. His back foot is probably 3 feet back from the box, whereas Mia's feet are only a foot away from the box on both sides. So if you're really taking your whole body weight and moving it a farther distance over the box to cover the step. So if you can get yourself to the point that you're tighter to the box, I think you're just doing a little bit less work.
Yeah.
Just requires a little bit more like hip range and flexibility to do that.
So Kyle did say in his strategy that this was where I was going to have a huge advantage, which I know this is a great movement for me, but it didn't feel like a huge separator in this. Like I finished now, and I think he's only a few reps behind me. I felt like the separator was more so the toes to bar.
Yeah, I think it's only 30 step overs, right, total. I don't think that's enough to really create like a huge separation this early in the workout.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first step, if you're looking at like what the greatest separation is going to be, is which movement is tested the most in the workout. That's not the only thing, but like there's 100 toes to bar and then everything else kind of split up. Then the obvious one is you got to be able to go faster on toes to bar. So I agree with Mia.
Kyle's hands on knees posture.
Yeah, he's heard already. I would be too, though.
Yeah.
I like the strategy from both of you guys. You said it. I don't know if you guys actually are going to hold to this the whole time, but do a big chunk to start each set and then kind of go by feel.
Kyle's big chunk there was 6.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, big chunk is relative. I think I opened with maybe 8, which felt big. Maybe it was 10.
yeah, I like the idea of opening with a big one in the 40 because it's so early in the workout.
For
and
sure.
I feel like you haven't really taxed your grip too much because the alternating dumbbell snatch is one at a time. So you kind of have the little reprieve on one side. But I feel like once you get through the dumbbell step overs, pretty much every movement from there on, or every movement from then on, is taxing your grip on both hands at the same time. So I just feel like unless you're just a games level competitor who has super grip endurance and super gymnastics, you're probably going to be breaking these into small sets. So then it's just about managing these rest breaks.
Yeah. I mean, just like everything in the sport, one of the things that people can think about in this is trying to come up with a game plan for how long each rest break is going to be in the 40s and then the 30s, and then just see like, okay, if I have to add a second, then only add a second and get back up, do as many as you can, then add another second, so on and so forth.
Do you pay attention to the clock every time when you're doing your rest
I don't
breaks?
anymore, but when I was training to be more disciplined with that, I used to always do that. And I would actually just like write in EMOMs, or if like when you used to write for me and you'd give me stuff like that, that's the kind of stuff I was thinking about, and I think it helped me a ton because it kind of forced me to get back. And you also then realize how much you can do. So it may not feel like you can do 5 every time, but then you realize, hey, I'm good enough to do 4 sets of 5 with 5 seconds break.
Yeah, it's a weird sport because sometimes you're like, I can't feel my hands, there's no way I can hang on the bar, and you jump up and you still can do it.
Yeah.
All right, here's the little bounce technique.
The bounce. Mike McGoldrick would love this right now.
Yeah.
Definitely a grip saver in this workout. Just holding on to the bar a little less. I will say, for as much as my grip felt like it was blowing up, it was worse when I was not on something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I would let go of the bar and be like, oh my God, my grip. And then when I got on, it was okay.
I feel like that after workouts. Like it hurts so bad, and then I finish a workout and I feel like my forearms are going to explode.
You can see the cycle rate different. Like, that's a really good split frame to be able to see if you're going and hinging, and really like from a functional standpoint, transferring into actual power cleans or hang power cleans, what Kyle's doing is mimicking the movement a little bit more closer with the hinge. But the bounce strategy over here is just so much quicker to cycle a bar. So if you're doing something like DT or this workout specifically, if you can work on that type of a bounce it into your thighs, stay tall, it just ends up being way quicker, less time under tension on your hands.
Yeah, and definitely more efficient. I think that for someone like Kyle, though, it's a little bit more challenging to do that, kind of like whatever you want to call it, the bounce off the thighs, because of old knee issues. And then if you don't have good ankle range, it's really hard to just dip with your knees forward without your heels coming off the ground.
Also, if you're soft like me, you just don't want the bar to slam into your quads.
That's actually what I meant.
You do build some like tolerance for that though. Like, I don't know what it is.
I can remember probably 3 or 4 years ago trying to learn that after watching someone on site and going home with bruises on my thighs.
Yeah, for sure. Travis refuses to learn. I'm like, well, I guess winning's not important enough. All right, so it's 20 toes to bar this round, right?
Right. So go ahead.
No, you go.
I said I changed one plate before so that I could transition right into the toes to bar, and then I wanted to get over halfway, come do. Change another set of plates. And
do we have an invisible judge on Kyle again this time?
Yeah, it's Haley.
Haley's like, good job, honey. Yeah. I'm gonna go get some coffee.
I know Becky's on the box, like inspecting, making sure my toes are. She was a great judge.
Yeah, so I like the strategy of switching out half the plate, doing some work, switching out the other half of the plate. Did you do it after you were done with all the toes to bar, or you're still?
No, I still have
some left.
Like, I think maybe one more set, or I'm not sure exactly. Kyle was saying he came over, took a plate off, went back, came over, put another plate on, or like one thing at a time. So Chris is fixing us.
Hi, Chris.
I like these descending rep type workouts as well, because I feel like you can take a little bit more of an aggressive strategy on the front end. When the reps of gymnastics are increasing as you go through the workout, you have to be a little bit more conservative. I feel like pretty much everybody can get through a set of 10 pretty quickly at the end, even if it's 3-3-2-2 with quick breaks. So you can start to get a little bit more aggressive with your rest breaks as you go through this workout, as you're getting closer to failure, since the rep cadence or the rep numbers are decreasing so much.
So this is where I'd be most critical of myself in this workout, is I think I should have been a little tougher on this bar, because it actually moved a lot better than I expected it to be.
That is very easy, Mia.
I know, and I put it down. I hate myself.
Just because of this or in general? 6.
So
Mia.
I know on that one I like had to dip more under it, and it felt so much more than what that looked like.
So let's see what that rest break is. You stopped at 11:05. You've criticized me for 20-second rest breaks. See if you beat that by the time you pick it up.
This is getting close.
Oh, 15.
Mia's bitter.
Yeah. I'm going to try to beat her when I do this. And Ruth's still on a toes to bar over here, and then you're done with 10 toes to bar, and you're done, right?
Yeah. And this is where a set of 10 would have been awesome, but
This is another moment.
yeah, this wasn't lack of toughness. This was
Just
Is it grip or core failure?
grip. I didn't feel my core at all in this workout.
Nice.
With that style of toes to bar, I very rarely feel any core fatigue, which is cool.
Yeah.
get back on the bar.
That bar looks pretty heavy for Kyle.
So 3 sets to finish for Mia.
12:04 or 12:03.
12:03
Yeah,
max.
it was close.
Come on, Max. All right, so I don't know how many Kyle did because I was watching Mia.
Yeah, I
there.
think
Was
he
it-
opened up with 4.
Okay,
Maybe
so
3.
probably 3 sets here, I'm guessing. Do a set of 3 here. This is really where you can make up a lot of time too for someone that's watching this. Like even if your toes to bar aren't great in the 40s and 30s, if you can do like some fast sets here, because the breaks are going to get long for everyone, I assume.
Yeah, so he finished that at 12:29, set of 3. Let's see what the rest break looks like. I think he has 1 set left. It's like a set of 3 to finish. He either has 3 or 4 reps total left that he's got to do. So let's see if he picks it up. So 17 seconds of rest between. The speed looks pretty good, but you can tell it's kind of heavy, especially in the catch.
Oh, so he's got one more.
He's got another set of 2.
So those are the things you should think about before the workout. Make sure you just kind of hang tough there and game plan for the last 2 bars.
Yeah, because there's probably like 30 seconds. If you can do that in 2 sets, as you know, like Mia did, and he just had 1 left there. Yeah, so that ended up being like an extra 20 seconds of
For
total
sure.
time there. So those are like execution things that I'm sure if Kyle were going to redo this workout, like if it was an actual qualifier that he'd be analyzing for himself.
Yeah. And I mean, there's only so much you can do if you just, the weight is so heavy you can't clean it. But I think, for someone like Kyle, he probably could have done that last rep.
Yeah.
It was more of a the bar's gonna fly out of my hand feeling
for
than
sure.
weight, I think.
Great job with these breaks. This is kind of what I'm talking about at the end of a workout. You just got to you drop off and you jump back up. And even if you're doing 2s, like that's going to be faster than taking those 15-second breaks.
All right, then he's done. 13:45.
I don't know. 12:03 is what Becky wrote on my board. I didn't look at what Haley wrote, but whatever Haley wrote is.
Well, on this workout, Mia, you're the fitter coach.
Congratulations, by the way. Until
gonna-
Max does it.
Yep.
Max won't face me.
Project Pat, take us away.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Patar in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button. Let it be known what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Patar.